Hear these contentious cats primed for battle.
He's releasing a line of merchandise saying, I'm cashing in on hoism. He's won as many Oscars as Leo, too.
What the hell, Campbells? Andy Warhol didn't die for this.
Because for these women, their butts really are their moneymakers.
It will be a memorable movie for years to come.
I had to let that one go a little longer just to wail on her for a little bit.
Have you ever heard of that city? I haven't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, beauties and beasts, and Nilla wafers. Shout out to the kind folks in Des Moines, in Billings, in Beirut, Hamburg, and welcome to the March 29th, 2016 edition of Ames Tonight, ISUTV's entertainment and satirical comedy show, straight out of 171 in Hamilton Hall, in the heart of the Cyclone Nation. I am your co-host, Andreas Haffar.
And I'm your co-host for the night, Annie Harmon.
That is you. I knew it was Annie Harmon. Long time no see. I mean, I was going to look over at you and say, you don't look like Laurel Feeks, but, I mean, how the hell you been?
I've been pretty good, you know, not a blonde girl sitting here, so.
No, I mean, you know, it's been a while, like I said. Happy that you're gracing us with your presence. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks. You know, it's great to be back, and I plan on doing a better job than Laurel Feeks ever has. In all seriousness, we have a great show for you lined up tonight, guys, as always.
So let's get ready to rumble. Nothing shouts American more than the insatiable concept that is competitive eating. And for one dog-eat-dog combatant, pun intended, there was no better way to celebrate Easter last Sunday by eating a whole bowl of Peeps. Like hundreds of them, like 200 to be exact. That's right, folks. Welcome to the United States of A. A standing for artery problems. A country where, according to the Huffington Post, Matt Stoney, otherwise known as Megatoad, ate 200 Peeps in just 14 minutes. And then he posted this to YouTube. Stoney allegedly started off with smiles that soon turned into looks of desperation and of horror as the harsh reality sunk in that Peeps don't taste as good or look as adorable as they might seem. Reports also indicate that he consumed nearly 5,600 calories, with nearly 14 of them being sugar, and the rest being like straight up duck meat, son. Now, I should also mention the heap of marshmallow in them too, which amounts to about the equivalent of the giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's youngest son, Michael. That's just sad when you think about it, and what's even more sad and quite frankly appalling is that Jesus died for these Peeps, okay? Just like Andy Warhol died for Campbell's and Chef Boyardee died for fascism. Congratulations, Megatoad, you're famous now for decimating a clan of Peeps. While you're still just a kid, I hate and envy your metabolism, but the feed is impressive nonetheless. Hashtag where my Peeps at.
I think it'd be fair to call that man a stony baloney. Now, if you've ever been watching any sort of news or have seen a tabloid in the grocery store, you might have heard of presidential candidate Ted Cruz's recent sex scandal. If you have or haven't, there's still a few things you should know. Ted Cruz is being accused of having affairs with 5 different women. 5 different women. Yeah, and 5 different women are accused of having a terrible taste in men. The story was originally run by notorious tabloid magazine, The National Enquirer. National Enquirer is indeed a tabloid, and as such, there are various grains of salt that should be applied when reviewing anything they present. However, that said, they have been unfortunately accurate for more than a few presidential hopefuls: Gary Hart, Jesse Jackson, and John Edwards, to name a few of the more infamous examples. To get behind the truth and behind the madness, we need to address a few key side notes. Firstly, they post pictures of their collective mistresses on the National Enquirer. The National Enquirer would never legally go there if they didn't hold a very reasonable assurance that the outlined players were factually part of the story. To the second thing to note is, since the publication first hit the newsstands, the Twitter sphere has lit up with conversation about the scandal. It appears many political followers believe that they have identified 3 of the blurred out images within the National Enquirer's story. What is important to take away from this, that no matter what the truth is, it is coming down to that time in pre-election where it's down to the wire. Candidates are getting more desperate, and the he who shall not be named candidate is nothing but profiting from this recent Cruz scandal. In other political news, Sarah Palin, my favorite female politician of all time. Oh, you betcha, you know, she's my favorite. Well, she's about to become the next Judge Judy. You heard me, a woman with no law degree, 4 failed TV reality shows, and probable Trump fetish is going to decide court cases and subsequently people's legal lives. Famed TV judges like Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown do have licenses to practice law, unlike Palin. A spokesperson for the production company told the Washington Post that Palin appointed judges and took in facts past judgment in her role as governor of Alaska, as she should. An unnamed source echoes to People that Palin works as a TV judge because of her telegenic personality, wide appeal, and common sense wisdom. I don't know if I'm more shocked that they're all allowing her to play judge on national TV or the fact that someone in this country thinks Palin has common sense wisdom. Not that that matters. Palin will end up like any other TV judge, playing on countless loop in DMV and hospital waiting rooms nationwide.
That Palin stuff's crazy. All right. So last week, our fearless commander-in-chief, Barry O, visited Cuba, the first time a U.S. president has paid visit to lower Miami in several decades.
That's right. As I'm sure most of you heard, President Obama landed to Havana to a warm welcome from the Cuban people.
Yeah, but I guess you can't please everyone because one particular individual was far from content about El Presidente de Estados Unidos' stay. Here he is. Wait. Why do we have a picture of Ted Cruz up? I'm not talking about Ted Cruz. Castro. Fidel Castro, that is. You may remember Castro from your overpriced history textbooks, where his name pops up in classical historical events like the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Bay of Pigs. Also, I found out in a history book, according to Castro's biographer, Robert E. Quick, that he was notorious for not being able to form a lasting sexual relationship with any female. I mean, that's apparently true, and you'll probably have to dig really, really deep to find it in your textbooks. It's a gem, I tell you what. It's true. But I'm curious, just curious. What do you mean by lasting? I just want to know for like a friend or like an accomplice. I mean, just shut up, guys. Just shut up.
All right. So while Obama was there, we saw him meet with Fidel's brother and current president of Cuba, Raul Castro. Promising to end the Cuban embargo in the near future, we also saw the birth of an Obama-Castro bromance, one that's sure to set the bar for bromances all over the world. Looking at you, Putin. They went to the Cuban Tampa Bay Rays game together, and Obama cheered in Castro's face when the Rays scored, as most, bromies do. The Cuba even got to see the luxurious arms of Michelle Obama while she was doing the wave with Cuban baseball fans. Sounds right? Not according to Fidel Castro, who unleashed a scathing 1,600-word letter of criticism towards Obama just yesterday, claiming that, quote, "we do not need the empire to give us anything." He, of course, referring to the United States. In this letter, Fidel makes it clear that he's still upset by America's history of hostility towards Cuba and essentially told Obama to hold his horses with the sweet-talking. This is a familiar tale, you guys. Obama is always getting slammed for being too fun or being too soft. Can't the man just have a little fun? The Zodiac Killer himself even chimed in because we so asked for his opinion, and he found Obama's appearance and antics abominable, especially when ESPN interviewed Obama when he learned of the attacks in Brussels during the Cuba Rays game. In the wake of these terrorist attacks, Obama responded fearlessly with a "we shall not be moved" attitude. Because he was with his new buddy Raul, okay? I mean, what's he gonna do, ditch him? Terrorism seeks to divert attention away from people's daily lives, and Obama didn't fall for it. Also, that baseball game sounded a lot like a soccer game, and if it was a U.S. men's national game versus Cuba, at the rate they were playing, it might have been Raul in Obama's face yelling, "Goal!"
Well, let's see if we can clarify Ted Cruz's position. Okay? All right. He claims Obama is moving backward with his new policies that will, quote, "be remembered as a tragic mistake." Okay, so stick with me here, all right? Now, Cruz says Obama is moving backward, right? But I see where he's coming from. You see, Cruz himself is actually moving backward. But for him, he thinks he's moving forward. So he would think Obama is moving backward when he's actually moving forward. So Cruz has his directions all mixed up. You still with me, guys? Keep up, folks. Now, what's with Fidel's response, though? Is it a case of not being able to teach an old dog new tricks? perhaps. But something tells me that Fidel didn't even know that Obama was in Cuba until after Obama left. I'm thinking Fidel found out like this. All right, so Raul goes up to him, right? He goes, hey, brother, look, don't be mad at me, okay? And I can't emphasize that enough. But Barack Obama stayed over here in these past few days. And look, I was going to tell you, but I knew you'd get upset, and we watched baseball together, and it was fun, and I'm sorry, and I love you. But I was just fuming, like, aren't you kidding me, man? Aren't you kidding? Even though that sounds more like Tony Montana. But whatever. I think it's funny to imagine this. I mean, because you have the 84-year-old Raul and Fidel, who's like 110, and they're just arguing over that. I mean, yeah, and yes, Fidel is still alive, believe it or not. But that's typical Obama, all right? This dude is the country's best troll. Look, at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner, he showed everyone his birth video, and then it turned out to be the opening to Lion King. That's brilliant. I wish I thought of that. In all honesty, I think it's a progressive step forward, and it shows that force isn't always an answer or an option when dealing with international relations. It's going to be a great time to finally legally smoke Cuban cigars, and maybe, just maybe, I can finally find out what all those hot and steamy Havana nights are all about.
Yeah, good luck with that, Andreas. You
thank
and
you.
your tight pants are going to have a great time in Havana. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll have the nightly news watchers at the desk. Stay
That's right.
tuned.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Ames Tonight.
'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave. I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set our body fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Welcome back to Ames Tonight. I'm Taylor Claybon.
And I'm Joy Wright. We're glad you stuck with us.
Corey Lewandowski, the campaign manager for Donald Trump, was charged with battery last week after an incident in which he allegedly grabbed reporter Michelle Fields at a campaign event earlier this month. Despite Lewandowski calling Fields delusional, he turned himself in to the police Tuesday morning in Jupiter, Florida, where he was charged with a misdemeanor battery. Fields released a photo of her arm with bruises that appear to be from someone grabbing her. A newly released video also appears to show Lewandowski grabbing Fields at the Jupiter event. I'm not sure if it's Fields or Lewandowski that's delusional, but I'm going to guess it's Lewandowski, just like all of Trump's other supporters.
Incredible and talented actor Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson just got tagged for an accident their son Chet Hayes had while driving their car. Don't you just love children? According to a new lawsuit filed against the celebrities, Chet rear-ended a guy named Terry Mugen in February of 2015. while driving Tom and Rita's Chevy. Mugen accuses Chet of driving recklessly and being under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol at the time. Mugen says Chet's parents should be responsible since they negligently handed him the keys. As for the drugs and alcohol allegation, Chet didn't get a DUI for that accident. In fact, cops weren't even on the scene. Mugen's attorneys claims Chet begged him not to call the police at the time. In the suit, Mugen says he suffered from injuries. His attorneys claim Mugen got whiplash and a brain injury from hitting his head on the dashboard. TMZ has reached out to Tom's representative. No word back yet. If I was Tom's rep, I wouldn't get back with him either.
Twitter exploded after singer-songwriter Party Next Door posted on Instagram with the caption, "After all of her shenanigans, still got the R&B singer back in my bed." Apparently, Twitterverse was not happy about what is being speculated as singer Kalani cheating on her boyfriend Kyrie Irving with her ex. The memes poured in, and Kyrie himself liked some of them. More Instagram posts indicated that the female singer had attempted suicide and that her ex-boyfriend Party Next Door had been there for her, although it is not apparent whether that was why they got back together or if her attempt was after Twitter roasted her alive. Considering I had only heard of one of these people before this, and I don't even know what team he plays for, I'm pretty lost on all of this, but it sounds filled with drama and it's exhausting. According to a source, Party Next Door deleted the Instagram post, and Kalani has deleted her entire account.
Comedian and actor Cat Williams recently had a physical altercation with a 17-year-old boy. Cat Williams and the 17-year-old kid he fought are both wanted by the cops. Police in Gainesville, Georgia told TMZ that Cat and the kid, Luke Walsh, have been charged with disorderly conduct. A Hall County judge issued arrest warrants after the charges were filed. Cops say the fight, which included foul language being used in front of minors, is a violation of the conditional bond from his arrest for allegedly assaulting one of his bodyguards. Police have contacted Cat's lawyers to discuss him turning himself in, but if he doesn't, cops are ready to go find him. TMZ was also told that Walsh was charged because in Georgia, 17-year-old offenders are considered adults.
TSA failed to spot at least 73 workers on the terror watch lists. Let me repeat that. The Transportation Security Administration failed to spot at least 73 workers on terror watch lists. TSA's entire job is to make sure that dangerous people don't get on planes, and they had over 6 dozen potentially dangerous people working for them? Honestly though, I'm not surprised. Living 11 hours away from Iowa State, I have become a frequent flyer. And I won't name names to protect our country, but some airports do a pretty bad job. Like, I don't think they even have real scanners. I kid you not, on 2 separate occasions, I've accidentally snuck both a drink and hair product over the allowed size of liquids onto a flight. TSA really needs to get their act together.
UFC superstar Jon Jones called a police officer a effing liar and a pig during a heated exchange in New Mexico last week, and TMZ Sports has the footage. It all went down when Jon was pulled over in his white Corvette on suspicion of drag racing around midnight Thursday. The encounter was definitely heated from the beginning, the officer making it clear he was not happy with Jones. But Jon, who is on probation from a hit-and-run conviction, doesn't take kindly to the officer's tone and starts to bark back, at one point calling him a effing liar and a pig. He added, "You're despicable." The officer replied, "I feel the same way about you, sir." Jones went on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani and later apologized, saying he was emotional and shouldn't have said what he said. The UFC issued a statement saying, "We are aware of the situation and are looking into the matter." TMZ has also been in touch with Jon's team regarding the matter.
Utah has passed a law that is the first of its kind. While many states ban abortion after 20 weeks, claiming that this is when the fetus can feel pain, Utah's implemented a law not banning the procedure, but stating that anesthesia I'm so sorry. The anesthesia must be used on the woman. The goal is to reduce pain felt by the fetus during the procedure. Although the medical community is not a fan, stating that the fetal pain theory has little medical evidence to support it, I am all for it if it means that abortions are still possible for women that need them. Nice work, Utah.
Rapper Lil Wayne is suing Universal Music Group because he says the company is settling debts with Birdman and Cash Money Records, with money still owed to him. Weezy filed a federal lawsuit against UMG over its financial arrangement with Cash Money. According to the suit, UMG advanced Birdman label $100 million and has slowly been paying itself back. Wayne's issue is half of the money going back to Universal is his. Under the terms of his deal with Cash Money, Wayne says the bulk of the revenue was earned by his Young Money artists, Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Tyga, so he deserves a healthy cut. Wayne's furious over what he considers a screw job and is demanding at least $20 million of his course. This suit is on top of his ongoing $10 million battle with Cash Money.
And that's the Nightly News Watch.
Stay tuned for the Common Man's movie review and Ladies Lounge 2.0. You're watching Ames Tonight.
Last weekend, DC kicked off their extended universe with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. The film takes place 2 years after the events of Man of Steel, and a lot of people, including U.S. government officials and Bruce Wayne, played by Ben Affleck, are wondering if Superman is truly on the side of justice. The amount of power Superman has intimidates officials, Bruce Wayne, and the villainy Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, and is what ultimately leads to the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel exchanging blows. Now, critics didn't like this movie, yet it did great at the box office, raking in over $400 million worldwide in its opening weekend. So what does a common man think of it? I'm in the middle of the road. As a common man, I should be. I liked it, but it definitely had some problems. As a movie telling the story of Batman and continuing the story of Superman, this movie drags on for the first hour and a half. There's hardly any action, and just an insane amount of interactions between characters. At the end, when the fight scenes finally occur, it seemed to be very Michael Bay-ish. In other words, there were a lot of explosions. However, I wasn't going to this movie looking for a Batman or a Superman movie. I went to this movie thinking about the latter part of the title, Dawn of Justice. DC is using this movie to jumpstart their entire cinematic universe. So while there seemed to be a lack of action in this movie, my interest was kept the whole time because sprinkled throughout the film were Easter eggs about the future DC films, which will eventually lead up to a hopefully great Justice League movie. I also liked this movie because of the way it ended. There may have been an excessive amount of explosions, but it was neat to see Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman on the same screen together. And if the majority of the movie seemed dull, the last 10 minutes make up for it. I won't say exactly what happened, but DC managed to take a major hero to a level Marvel hasn't been to before. If DC continues to make movies with this setup, they won't be successful. But I think they're on the right track to becoming as successful as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The critics may say one thing, but box office dollars don't lie. This has been a Common Man's Movie Review. I'm Jared Calvert, and I'm just a common man in an uncommon land.
Welcome to Ladies Lounge 2.0. We are the ladies lounging around, and as always, I am Megan Moran, your local trap king.
And I'm the sassy fashionista, Rachel Gibbon.
And I'm your favorite common lady, Kathryn Kuckelman.
Well, since it's officially spring and the weather is getting warmer, we would like to take some time out of your day to talk about some fun and some not so fun trends of 2016.
Yeah, camels are here.
You can thank celebs such as the Kardashians and Kanye West for setting such great trends.
But most of all, you can thank our own Ames Tonight host, Haffar.
Andreas Haffar. Every week, Mr. Haffar likes to wear his suit jacket with shorts. Is this high fashion for men? And, I don't understand. Seeing this makes me do a double take. And now I know our viewers don't get to see this trend, but I think behind the scenes we do.
Oh, so you guys don't like that trend, right? You don't like it?
Not so much.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
the best.
I was just double checking, but all right.
Well, I'd like to show you some of Andreas' best looks to date.
Wow.
I think he was going for some kind of Wonder Woman superhero vibe here.
I get that vibe. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go to the next one.
Oh, I need that, for myself.
I like the
think
jacket.
This would qualify as a pimp coat.
Pimp coat.
All right, next.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This
the
is-
color really brightens his skin tone.
This has got to be my all-time favorite because no man ever shows you this much of his legs.
No, it's awesome. It's amazing.
It looks nice, yeah.
10 out of 10, right there.
Next, please. Ah,
Ooh.
the hair. That's all you got to say here.
Yep.
Next.
Next.
Oh.
The chest hair, the sweat. I don't know what's the best.
I have no words.
So you guys said you didn't like the shorts and the suit thing?
Not so
Nope.
much.
Okay,
Oh.
cool. I'm doing it anyway, so whatever.
Oh,
whatever.
no, you're
Oh,
doing it.
girl.
Ugh.
Well, speaking of trends, here's some of our most and least favorite trends of 2016.
I would like to start out with this absurd pom-pom nail trend. So what even are these? Why can't people just settle for some regular nail polish? And these pom-pom nails are just impractical. How do you get anything done? I feel like they would just get caught on everything. And not to mention they're super ugly, so not fun. Definitely not fun.
You know, I'm not a fan of fun nails, but I'm also a lazy beauty kind of gal. Too much work for me, just too much work. But one trend I just don't understand is the Kylie Jenner lips. As you can probably tell, I don't have lips. My top lip likes to disappear every time I talk. Yeah, I know you guys are looking. It's okay. Kylie Jenner has developed her own lip kits, which have flown off the shelves. And I just don't understand the craze. And I definitely don't understand why everyone wants to be like Kylie. I have my own tiny, tiny lips that I love. But can't you too, America?
Another trend I just can't get on board with is drawn-on eyebrows. I mean, I'm all for touching up any questionable spots after a bad brow job, but why? Why would someone do this and think it looks good? I'm all about those bushy, natural brows.
I am, and I'm always going to be a natural brow kind of girl. Get it? It rhymed.
Yeah, good one, Rachel. All right, great. Silver hair is a hot trend this year. No people are aging prematurely, but actually purposely dyeing their hair silver and gray. And I, for one, am a fan of this trend. The lady of many hair colors, Kylie Jenner, even tested out the gray hair. Also, my friend recently dyed the ends of her hair gray, and I'm going to say it looks pretty dope. So 10 out of 10, would definitely recommend that hot trend. How about you guys?
No.
No?
Okay.
Not a fan.
Well, speaking of gray and silver hair, people are also going crazy over multicolor hair dyes. A lot of people are going for the sunset hair or aurora borealis hair. I can't imagine the kind of time or upkeep those take, but all I know is it's not worth it. You end up looking like a clown or an emo wannabe. Opinions?
Well, I applaud those adventurous guys and gals for trying those daring colors, but it's just not a trend for me.
Guys, I had blue hair last summer.
And I had pink hair, but back in high school, 2009, I believe, a great year for me.
All right, I'll admit it. I had a purple streak in my hair at one time. one day.
See, we all did it. You know, next is a glitter hair part. And I know all you ladies out there have gotten glitter in your hair at least once or twice in your lifetime, and you know the struggle of getting it out. Am I right, guys?
You're right.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so why would you voluntarily put glitter all over your hair? I mean, sure, it's a cool aesthetic thing, but let's be real, this glitter is never coming out of your hair, and 10 out of 10 would not recommend, and it's not fun.
Lastly, I'd like to point out Birkenstocks. They seem to be a huge hit on campus, all girls and guys, and I'm just not a fan. They remind me of the Last Supper. Oh, and when I see them worn with socks and leggings, even worse. Oh, and guys, it just doesn't work for you either.
Yeah, I'm definitely not wearing Birkenstocks right now. They are so lame.
Yeah, me either. They're not cool, Rachel. No. But I agree with the long socks and Birks. That's just something that needs to stop. And you know what, that's all we have for this edition of Ladies Lounge 2.0. Thanks for joining us on Ames Tonight. We will see you next week. Stay weird, Ames.